they're ready to go.
It's no big deal.
Cool.
All right. So how did you guys like the last one? Well, I mean, I can't. There's not really.
I didn't listen to the whole thing because
It was a long.
Yeah.
I can't really take. Well, I mean, I can't really take credit for that. It's just like all I did was hit a button, and like everyone else, just. I was. There was a. Actually, glad I did that because there's a few things that I missed, or I had I didn't hear the first time, and I was listening over this like, oh, that's right, that's right.
Well, I know Chris here. He listened to it.
Okay.
Alright, I guess is everyone in the channel now? Chris, do you have your mic ready?
Yeah, sorry. I was doing stuff.
Alright, anyone have any questions from the last session?
No questions.
Okay. Alright guys, goals for tonight. I basically, tonight's session might be a little bit more railroaded than you would expect because we're still technically trying to get through the embraces, and my goal tonight is to get everyone through their embrace. So some of you might be taking a little bit of a back seat, those of you that have already had your embrace done, but that's basically we've already spent one session on introduction and we will not spend a third, so I want to get it done tonight. So we might be rushing through some things. If there's any combats and they take a little long, I may truncate them. That's just going to be the nature of the session, but it won't be going forward that way necessarily. So just be prepared, okay?
Yeah, that's fair to kind of get through the prelude type of part.
Alright, so when we last left off, two of you had died on the field of battle with the Roman Ninth Legion and were brought back through some strange blood magic. Your ritually scarred benefactor had also chosen to spare the life of a Roman traitor who had fought by your side through some strange magic as well, having drawn a complicated rune bind over the man's heart using the blood of his previously exposed entrails. A man wearing a mound of animal pelts with a flowing beard, called Wotan by the scarred woman, melted into the earth in front of you, right after telling you that he would distract the Ninth's commander, called Mithras, for you to make your escape. And escape you must, for no man seems to be able to resist doing what Mithras demands, even die. We'll need to head north. If we can find a great oak, I can take us safely from the many eyes of the Ninth. Be warned, they are of one mind. Should we be spotted by their flanks, the whole of a legion will descend upon us to aid their shield brothers. When we leave this circle of trees bearing my mark, she points to the trees encircling the clearing, we will be seen. Are there any preparations left to make? You have questions to ask. You have your senses about you, though for some of you the transition to undeath has been jarring, to say the least.
I'm still, pacified, aren't I?
You are pacified for the remainder of this scene, yes.
Okay.
That just means no aggression and you're again, just passive. It doesn't mean you're incapable of asking questions or anything of that nature, but you are mollified, yes.
I just want to make sure I kind of RP it, right?
Yanesh, in particular, you are starting to feel your legs again as your severed spine knits back together. The runes binding your flesh together throb in rhythm with each beat of your heart. Upon seeing you balk at the extent of your regeneration, the scarred woman looks to you. Treat your wounds with care. If the runes are disturbed, the magic holding you together will fail. Out of character, mechanically, for the time being, you'll regenerate 1 point of lethal or bashing damage each turn automatically, but you will need to be cautious, as a botched defensive roll or a particularly bad injury will have a chance of spoiling the rune. You can die here, and dying will mean a new character, so just be warned.
Cool, this is awesome.
I'm glad that that's your reaction to, you can die.
Right? That went better than I expected.
Pretty much every character I make, I'm pretty much 60% expecting them to die. I usually make something along the lines of paladins and the like.
Well, I think that considering everything that happened, right after his embrace, like just like immediate like feasting on flesh. Callum is kind of like, I guess since he's complacent, he's not quite reeling, but it's kind of like, you know, it's subdued, that feeling of like, oh shit, like I was just eating like the heart and liver and like guts and viscera of my own father, and the horror of that is kind of dawning on him, like in this moment. So he's kind of a bit overwhelmed.
Derangement.
Well, I value the life you've given me. I need my sword. I go back and get it.
That would
you
be
mean
ill-advised.
Sorry, Matt, I didn't
You
mean
have
to
it?
talk over you.
No, that's okay. Must you have it?
Yeah. It is my honor. Without it, I'm nothing.
Who's responding?
The scarred woman. You don't have her name yet.
Okay.
No one's asked.
I mean, we two of us were
You
literally
told
just
me
brought back
that
to life.
you should Get out, so introductions later.
Yeah, except, someone needs to go retrieve their teddy bear. So, do you know where this item is?
Where I fell. I believe it's further in the forest that way. Since I have been in these forests, hopefully I know the actual geography, but I'm not the character. I cannot describe it to you from here. But she could.
Very well. So it will put us at additional risk.
I can be back in a heartbeat.
Your heart beats no longer.
Guess I have a little bit of time then, don't I?
So when she like says that to her, your heart beats no longer. Does that like give that kind of realization in Callum? Like he's like, oh shit, my heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and probably the only reason he's not having like a mild like kind of like freak out is because he's like subdued.
Your body is still whole, but Britta's not so much, even though the flesh underneath is whole. The armor, etc., that she was wearing is torn to tattered with tons and tons of stab wounds and all kinds of vile things that have happened to it. You had a clean death, Callum, but Britta did not, so yeah, it's starting to dawn on you what's happened.
I'm also naked.
It's a good look, man.
Oh, that's a good point. I guess you guys were naked. Oh, then in that case, yeah, disregard that.
Well,
Sorry, in
I'm
my
thinking
mind, I don't have you
more
guys
armor,
naked.
but I did
Actually,
not.
as a druid, I probably would have worn something into combat ceremonial garb.
Okay.
I specifically followed the traditions of like fighting in the nude and like, it's all about like agility and avoiding getting hit.
Yes.
Go and fetch your item then. I will wait here.
I go with all haste. I have Dex 3, and I have Potence, and I am Hostile. Oh, I have Stealth 2, so I'll also try not to be seen.
Go ahead and roll a Dex stealth check for me.
What about Yanish? He's like, his guts are like flowing back into him. Like, is that what happened? Right? Like he was like,
Yeah, no,
almost gutted and-
he's been knitted back together at this point. He still has scars in the leg that are holding him, but they're being held together by a runic sigil that is on his chest over his heart.
So I imagine seeing that, like, Callum's probably sitting there looking at him with this look on his face of, like, just ravenous hunger. but because he's like subdued and under the effects of animalism, he's not like attacking, but he's seeing all this flesh, and it's just bringing this like desire to consume up in him. So you're probably getting weird stares from Callum. Hello, you guys there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
I'm here. I was looking in the wrong channel for the roll. My bad.
Ooh. We're still using that house rule, right? The whole like 10.
10 is 2 successes, yeah.
Chris, you should be made aware of that. 10s will always count as 2 successes, and specialties will give you a bonus dice.
Okay.
Alright, and go ahead and roll a perception survival for me.
All of us are just,
Oh, no, just Britta.
okay.
He's the only one who chose to leave the clearing. Okay, you are able to stumble your way back through the forest to find your shattered blade. The pieces lay on the... Wait, did yours shattered? Yeah, you tried to hit him and it shattered. Yeah, the pieces lie on the floor there. The area is still crawling with Roman legionnaires. You're gonna have to dig up these shards or find some way to get them.
I grab the largest pieces I can find and I'll reforge it when I can. If I have to mix in my own metal, that's what I must do, but the help's the most important piece.
Okay, and I will remind you, you are not in the tree cover when you go to this location. You will have to come out from the cover and then be standing kind of in broad view of everyone to pick these up. You're wanting to do this?
No, I thought I could still hide by a tree. I have Spirited Free. Is this a chance for me to use my new discipline?
I don't quite recall what you have the abilities to do. We can look it up if you'd like.
So new vampires get access to their powers, but they just may not, like, it depends on what it is, I guess. Some of them, like, it requires a little bit of playing around with to figure out.
This is kind of a good time to get into this. They normally in Embrace, it says that your sire spends like a year or what have you kind of teaching you the basics. I wholly disagree with that interpretation. Most of these powers are manifestations of the beast within, and the beast is overpowering. It is instinctual. I feel a lot of these powers should be intuitive, at least the lower ranks of them. Like, for example, Protean 1 and your claws, those should kind of be intuitive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Some of the more esoteric disciplines, sure, you need some training for those. But
Tenebration.
yeah, obtenebration. So, for example, even dominate, just forcing your will, the beast will, over that of a mortal, should be pretty intuitive.
Well, can she use, like, her powers in some way?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, so she doesn't know what they are.
The third dot can, the good way this could help here is the chameleon's colors, where she can, like, give herself, like, the ability to blend in better with her surroundings.
Sure, but it's got to be a spirit that's native to the region. I don't know if chameleons are native to this region. Let me look.
It's true. I don't think they are. They're like tropical.
There might be some
Serpents.
cuttlefish. Cuttlefish can do that.
Let me study the way of the cuttlefish. I'll stick my head in the water.
I mean, there's no reason why you can't, like, take something like chameleon's colors as the example and then say it's like some other animal that is, like, similar to that area, right?
Sure, yeah, you could just, you can, that's exactly what you need to do, is just give me an example of a creature in the region that does something similar. Cuttlefish, it looks like, are also tropical and temperate.
But yeah, that's
temperate. England's temperate for Britannia. It's a temperate area, I think.
I believe there are certain species of birds who have different coats in winter and summer. I will draw upon them to transition into a coat which is suited to this time, so I blend more in with my environment and the ground. I approach to collect my hilt.
Okay, since we're just starting to explore this tower, I'll go ahead and allow it for right now.
I can do moss if you want. Moss looks like trees and dirt and stuff.
a good one.
Take
Moths
them
are a
off.
good one.
Okay, sure, we can do that. So go ahead and roll for it, spend your blood point, and it's manipulation occult.
How much blood do I have right now?
You told me I was at full. Which for 6th generation is 30. It's a lot.
Oh, you died of a heart attack, though. You kept all of your blood, so for her,
That's
let's
true.
go ahead and say 15.
You also had me, I fed, and then I had that whole bucket of, that horn full of blood, so.
I don't know why I find this amusing.
That we all suffered horrible fates. I mean,
No,
you just kind of have to laugh at that.
no, just the thought of do I have to drink blood? Nah, you died of a heart attack. You're fine.
It's not a botch, but it is a failure.
Well, my character wasn't really built for manipulation, unfortunately. So I guess I'll be relying on my dexterity and stealth to get close enough to grab it and then crawl back into the forest. I'll try to throw some leaves on myself as I approach. That way I kind of blend in better.
Okay, they slide right off of you.
You know what I mean, jackass.
You use the mud and bark and leaves.
Yeah. To blend in with my surroundings.
What's it? Predator? You know? Where he puts the mud on himself to hide from the invisible alien?
Yeah, you can't see them. The little heat sensors. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to spend a couple minutes constructing this kind of weird mud leaf ghillie suit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ideally just a minute smearing it on myself real quick and then going into crawling forward, getting the hilt and fleeing.
Okay, let's do a with survival to clothe yourself in this weird crud.
Who's good at slinging mud? This gal.
Okay, mimicking another animal of the region that you're familiar with, a pig. You roll around in the mud and then roll around in some nearby leaves. Carefully, though, you don't want to, crush the leaves and let everyone know that you're around.
Are you sure you're not Gangrel?
It's not a far throw from me. No.
Roll another dex stealth for me.
That sounds like one of those, behavioral, traits that Gangrels get after frenzying, you know? Not the physical ones, but now I have to, roll around in mud.
Just hike your legs up and rub your butt on the floor.
Anything that stinks as well.
Yeah.
You quickly throw yourself underneath the tall roots of a tree nearby as a Roman patrol passes by, looking around with vacant stares.
These guys are not observant.
Lord, let's hope not, because I just seem to get a lot of ones when it comes to this.
You pass by one. Congratulations.
Okay, do I need to roll to approach my hilt?
Oh yeah, no, this is separate. This is just the fact you were rolling around. You wait a couple more minutes until they pass by. And then go ahead and make a dex stealth for me.
Wow, I am not beloved by this random number generator tonight.
Now, luckily you made a ghillie suit.
Yeah, difficulty is 5, right?
Yeah.
After that,
You're able to go ahead and sneak out there and gather some of the larger pieces of your blade. You're only able to get about 3 or 4 pieces, maybe the hilt included, before you no longer feel confident being out here.
that's when I leave then.
Okay. You're able to find your way back to the clearing. Did anyone want to do anything in the couple minutes that she's away? Callum is still cowed, obviously, but Inish can do anything he wants.
Cool. I'm going to take my free hand, or whichever hand is not currently bound, has something on it, and tactilely inspect my wounds.
So while he's doing that, Callum is kind of like staring and like watching what he's doing with his wounds specifically, and like his mouth is like halfway open. You can see his fangs, and he's just like staring at the flesh that's exposed.
Okay. You have... could you describe Callum again one more time?
Callum is actually... He's like a tall, broad-shouldered, kind of handsome kind of man. I put 4 dots in appearance, so he's relatively attractive. And he stands out as well because he's covered in like tattoos, and he has the war paint on him right now. And, let me see, I actually put a whole description of him in the roleplay channel.
Hair or no hair?
Oh yeah, he's got hair. He's got long hair that is like probably pulled up because they put the top knot kind of like man bun thing was very common. So he has long hair and a beard. It's not like like this huge scraggly beard, but he has a beard. So he's a hairy person.
All right. This attractive Celt specimen is gawking at you openly.
With fangs.
Okay. Is my gladius in arm's length? Or in arm's reach?
Did you have it? You had it drawn at the time you died, did you not?
Yes.
No one grabbed it for you.
Is there?
Dragged you away.
All right. So any potential defensive object I could use to kind of like
Very
say,
large rocks.
okay, I reach over and I put my hand on a rock and I try to move it between him and me.
Okay, so I'm not like coming after you or anything. It's just he's watching you. So like when you do that, he just continues to just stare, but not really do anything at all because he's really subdued at the moment. So it's like, yeah, it's like unnerving maybe, but it's not like threatening.
Hey, you're creeping on him. Yeah, no, we're used to this.
Yeah.
Inspecting your wounds more closely, it looks like they have the kind of look that a deep scar tissue would have, but they're not gaping open anything anymore. They're not gushing blood, or there's no pus or anything like that. It just looks like a deep scar tissue, but a very new scar, so kind of pink.
This is interesting. All right. I'm going to lay my keep the hand on the scar, and I'm going to try to like see if I can sit up.
You are indeed able to sit up, and your legs are starting to respond to you again.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to make the attempt to stand.
Okay, you stand up.
Cool. Okay. And I will survey the other quote on air quotes survivors.
So while he's looking around at us all, and I'm just kind of looking at him, I I want to say out loud to that woman, just kind of like in a very like monotone kind of voice. It's just, why do I hunger for his flesh?
Because you're no longer fully human, she says back to you in a whisper. She's staring off into the distance in the direction Britta went, clearly waiting for her return. We don't have long. Wotan can explain more to you. I feel inadequate in this regard. I lack the hunger you possess.
And he is the other one? The Raven?
Yes, he is the...
It was a Raven he turned into, right?
Yes, he turned into... Well, it was more than a raven. It was a man-sized raven with 3 eyes, and it was more monster than anything you recognize, but the closest recognizable creature would be a raven with 3 eyes, yes.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty dope.
Best summary of vampirism ever. It was pretty dope.
In the distance, you can hear the approaching footsteps of Britta's hurried return.
I don't turn from Unish as he rises and takes stock of his surroundings.
As soon as you cross into the clearing again, Britta, Freya takes you by the hand and says, "Go. Are we ready now?"
Yes, thank you, Honored Druid.
Not a druid, she says.
Whoever you are, I owe you my life, so thanks. Whoever you are, you're honored and awesome. Let's go.
Yes, about your life. Very well. We shall make our way north. I believe it's about 3 or 4 miles. I saw it from the air. We seek a great oak tree atop a hill.
Calvin's just gonna go along with this. He's just like, okay, yeah.
We are changing scenes at this point, so you now get to try and shake off this animalism.
Okay. What was that? Is that self-control?
Pulling it up.
Spend a point of willpower to take action. Self-defense player rolls willpower difficulty 6 daily until he's rolled successes equal to the vampire's willpower. Vampires, don't they get one once per scene or something?
On vampires, the roll to shake the effect occurs every scene, so...
Okay. So, roll willpower difficulty 6?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my current, right? Or my total?
Wow, it doesn't say.
I know I think it's V20, they have it as, like, whenever you're rolling willpower, you're rolling your total. But in some editions, it's rolling your current. So, which one do you want to do?
Let's just do your total, I guess.
Okay. Alright. That's like 6 successes.
Okay. Well,
I have to get a number of successes equal to the willpower of the person who used it, which
his current or his rating.
probably his rating. Probably his, like, total rating, which could be, like, pretty high.
Yeah, it's not 100% yet shaken though.
But I'm getting there. I made progress.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the tattooed woman will head out of the clearing towards the north.
Alright. Callum follows behind her, subdued. Just What about you other two?
Britta will be following very closely and waiting to ask her questions until we exit, but she'll be watching the old woman very, very closely to she's trying to understand where she's from. She's not a druid. What land is she from? What kind of trinkets is she carrying? Does she have weaponry, etc.?
Well, first, your skin is unusually dark. You've never seen a woman this dark skinned. So, not here.
You mean like she doesn't have freckles? That's fucking weird.
Okay, so is it like for out of character perspective, how dark?
Black. She is black. African.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to have posted a picture, but it didn't want to take it, so I had to find another one. And believe it or not, these are kind of tough to find an image of a scarified African woman. That's appropriate.
I never would have guessed.
Okay, does Yanish follow, or is he just staying behind?
He's a bit confused. I just tripped on a pear. Excuse me. He's a bit confused.
Yeah?
I have a puppy. She likes pears,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Whoa.
and she's asleep right now. But yeah, she likes to just chew on the pears. But so he's following, but he's kind of like keeping his wits about him, like not following too close, just kind of like keeping distance between himself and the others, especially the one who is kind of like giving him that whole I'm eating you with my eyes.
Yes, that is definitely the look he's giving you.
And you also saw him eat a guy.
Oh boy, all right.
Remember that? That was the
Like,
first thing I did. Like I started like ripping out his guts and eating him, and then I pulled out his heart and I consumed it right in front of you. In fact, I think
I'm pretty sure there's something to Torah about that.
along the way, yes, there is. Yeah, the cannibalism is pretty.
I'm pretty sure it's not complimentary either, man.
I think along the way he might even just heave all that shit back up because like he had. Okay, so I have to eat food merit, but that doesn't mean I can just hold it down forever. That just means that I can hold it down indefinitely until it's time to just, because it just goes into a dead stomach and just sits there. And he doesn't. It's not like he gets any nourishment out of it. He just has to consume it. It's for the taste and the blood that's in it. And so it's one of those things where he's just like, it's an uncomfortable feeling, and then just, and all this shit just comes out.
Okay, you want to go ahead and heat this stuff on the side of the road? Do that.
Oh yeah, it's coming out and it's nasty.
When it comes out, actually, it's not as nasty as you might think. It's largely desiccated.
Oh, that's creepy. Okay,
Like you said, you absorb the blood.
it's true. Yeah. Okay. Just like bits of like jerky.
Essentially, yes, and a lot smaller than when they came in.
Ugh.
So kind of like an owl.
Part of the inspiration for this character were like the stories of like cannibalism among the Celts, like that the Romans and others spread, where like they eat people. So like this character is gonna be like some of the foundation for those types of legends.
Yanish, you're probably not thinking about it right now just because we're, getting along the way here, but your character would definitely be looking around for a castaway gladius or sword of some kind from either one of the barbarians or one of the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, I was definitely doing that.
Okay. Everyone in the group, go ahead and roll a perception survival.
There we go.
Looking for sixes.
Give me a second for my sheet to load.
I have 5 successes.
At me, buddy.
What?
I got 2. The dice hate me tonight. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my darn random number generator tonight. I don't know, man.
Chris, if you're looking at the dice rolls there, you can kind of figure out how to use the bot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and we can answer. There's a lot of different ways to use that bot.
Okay, so between the three of... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, okay.
All right. Between the three of you, you are able to deduce the tree that the tattooed woman is talking about. You do know where it is. It lies north, about maybe 3 or so miles on a large hill. So you're able to find your way there easily without getting lost. Go ahead and everyone roll perception stealth checks for me.
Perception stealth.
Let's go ahead and make it a dex stealth. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
Let's go with 6s again.
5 successes.
Oh no.
What the hell, bro? Are you bribing this guy? This bot? I don't understand, Andrew. What are you doing?
You got 3. I don't see the problem.
You got a lot of 10s and you know it.
Yeah, well, I don't roll like this when I'm the storyteller.
So thank God for that.
Though Yanish is unaccustomed to stealth, you are all able to locate the potential patrols along the way and avoid them. Yanish, you specifically go ahead and roll a perception alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 8.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I made a woodsy type guy. I mean, I figured it would make sense for this character, so
What
stealth,
is-
survival, all this stuff. Like,
What is this stealth you speak of?
yeah, you're the guy who like stand in formation, grab your shields, and then gets killed.
I do have a...
Oh, we're going to have to manually look at your results. If you notice, the bot is not counting the 10s as 2s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually 3 successes. Okay, you are able to notice both a cast off of a barbarian's axe and a Celt axe and a cast off Roman gladius.
Do you hear the inherent bias in this bloody story, man? What the hell?
I
Yeah, I have a very Roman-centric bias.
take the gladius.
Okay, you take it and stealth to your hip.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want an axe either?
I offer the axe. I'm like, who wants it?
Well, I thought you might want it.
Why
I
not?
think that Callum is like, if you just hand it to him, he's gonna take it, but he's not in a state of mind where he's going to like use it like at all. So if you offer it out and it's like in front of him, he will take it. But
Okay,
he may not feel comfortable approaching him.
Alright, you guys are reaching the foot of this large hill that you're going to climb up to get to the tree at the top. Go ahead and roll perception alertness for me. All 3 of you.
Perception alertness.
Yeah, difficulty 8 this time.
I fail.
You don't see anything. Actually, you're busy staring at all the knitting flesh still.
Be right back. I gotta let the dog out.
Oh. Two successes. Britta, you are able to hear some... You're able to hear the clomping of muffled footsteps from the hilltop above.
Watch out, someone's beat us here. And I take cover behind a tree.
Alright, we'll wait a second for Marco to get back.
Watch it be like Odin on his like six-legged steed.
I have returned.
Okay. Towards the sky, upon a hilltop, you see a great tree towering over the terrain and snuffing out the life of any surrounding foliage. So thick is the canopy that not even grass grows beneath it, and its roots seem to jut out from exposed portions of the earth all down the hillside. Even for a druid so versed in the flora and fauna of this land, this tree stands out with its mythic proportions. For the Roman, this is easily the largest tree you have ever laid eyes upon. Quietly, you begin your ascent.
What happens next?
You guys have been made aware of some information. If you guys want to address that, you can. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and roll some strength athletics.
I'm not.
After my warning, is Freya still climbing? Does she say anything when I tell her, like, hey, I hear someone up there?
She says to you, then be quiet. We'll have to take them by surprise, but we need that tree.
Okay. So Callum, because of the animalism, he's just following along.
This is a new scene. You'll need to roll your another check.
Oh, okay. That was willpower.
Broken.
Okay. Well, that's amazing.
Boy.
That's a great roll.
Hold it.
Upon hearing that there is potential prey nearby, you suddenly awaken.
Bro, that's 10 successes.
It's crazy. Okay, so, alright. Claws come out. I think that's a blood point, right?
That is a blood point.
I'm just making sure it's not like 2 blood points or something. Yeah, 1 blood point.
And thus Wolverine was born.
Alright, yeah, so, with that in mind, it's like, this, like, it's like a blanket being lifted off of him and being exposed to the sunlight, you know? It's like just this sudden resurgence of his beast, and his claws just, like, reflexively come out, fangs bared, and he just rushes forth. Like, I'm going after that flesh. I'm ripping them apart.
Okay. You have it on your hands and feet, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It says it reduces climb difficulties.
Well, it says it increases your dice pool by 2.
Yeah. Increases dice pool by 2.
That will apply for the next roll.
Okay, what's that?
Strength athletics, and add 2.
What's the difficulty?
Look for 6s.
4 successes.
Okay. Callum springs forth, running ahead of everyone else. Freya tries to stop him, just going shh with her finger, but you're already scaling the wall. Well, not the wall, the hill. You're already scaling up the hill. With a few quick bounds, pulling yourself up, you are able to reach the lip of the hillside. And looking over, you stare at as you get to the top of the hill, you start to hear the sound of battle being joined. You peer narrowly over the hill's incline, and you see several pairs of legionnaires' boots. They're moving in lockstep, except for one pair belonging to Gaius, go ahead and describe yourself.
Basically, I mean, he looks like a Roman soldier for the most part, except he's got more of like a short, ratty, like little mohawk thing. He's got otherwise his face is pretty normal looking, except for one of his eyes is blue and the other is green. But other than that, he's very inconspicuous looking, kind of just like he's trying not to be seen.
How's that going for you here, Chip?
Not very good, apparently.
The figure moves independent of the others and has taken on a defensive posture. Unlike the others, his eyes are alive, and obviously two different colors, with fear and the fire of defiance. In unison, the Legion draws their swords and begin to advance at what they now perceive as an interloper. Looking beyond, it's now clear why these legionnaires are here, a line of Roman auxiliaries. These men, and they were always men, served as archers to a Roman legion. They were non-citizens, as you would know them as your neighbors, or perhaps distant cousins from further south. Whatever they were, you had one term for all of them: traitor.
Was this me?
I think he's talking
No.
like we have a term for them. They are traitors to us because they are people who were natives who turned and allied with the Romans.
For whatever reason, they are now serving with the Romans, correct? Many of them are seeking citizenship, but they are all foreigners and subservient to legionnaires.
Alright, so they noticed me, right?
No. You notice them. They are not looking at you. They are looking down the hill. They are in a scouting position.
Is this a good point for like a surprise attack?
It absolutely is. Is anyone else going up this hill?
I'm just still waiting for it to be polite for me to take my turn.
Okay. I guess let's go ahead and, if you're going up the hill, make a strength athletics check. And then we'll start on initiative.
I feel like after seeing my fellow Briton charge up, I don't have much of a choice, so I start charging after him.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll that initiative for you.
May I use my potence on the strength athletics check for an automatic +1 that, or was I supposed to roll it? Sorry, I should have asked before.
Okay, the way it works on those types of checks is you get it in your dice pool, and if you don't roll it, you may spend a blood point for an automatic success.
I'll spend a blood point.
Okay, so go ahead and set the blood point. Yes, that's an automatic success on the strength check, and you didn't include.
That's
You did
correct. I did not include, I rolled the 5 to 10, which is my 3 strength and my 2 athletics, which already gave me 2 successes plus my blood is 3.
With your preternatural. Yeah, that's correct. With your preternatural strength, you are able to bound up the hill as well, pretty easily, to catch Callum before he begins his assault.
And keep in mind, Holly, that with those physical disciplines, it's 1 blood point, and it's like your entire rating that you get as flat successes. So if you have potence 5, that's 5 strength successes.
That is so tight, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Nish, you hanging back with the tattooed one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably smart.
She begins scaling up the hill as well, and she motions for you to follow, although she's moving much more cautiously. You guys won't reach the hill for another 2 turns.
You want me to roll?
No, we'll take it as automatic if you're going to go the slow way.
Okay.
Alright, so my initiative is 13.
Oh, let me get a pen real quick.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've looked at the other server, but there's a new bot that I put on there that can play music, and it'll join the voice channel and play music over the voice channel, which is really cool because you can have it do from YouTube or SoundCloud.
Actually, just thinking about doing something like that.
It's pretty awesome. It's something we can talk about on the side if you want. I can show you how I set it up and everything. It's pretty easy, and it's something I think I'm going to start using going forward to kind of have like ambient sounds going on in the background and stuff.
Oh, dude, that's some next level shit. I love it.
It hops in the voice channel and just plays music. Whatever you set it to play, it'll play.
Alright, so for your initiatives, we're doing a D10 plus Dex plus Wit. Right? That's how we decided to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some discussion about that last time. I think we settled on just roll once, and
That's it for the encounter.
so I have 13. And we tied again! Me and Yanish tied again.
Well, you're already up
Finish
there.
a second.
Yeah, because you're already up there.
Yeah, but like, you're going on the same, like, in Poly
What
2
the
now.
hell?
3 in a row.
Yeah, man, someone's controlling this bot. I don't know, man. Maybe it's Russians. I don't know.
These Russians. Let's
Wait,
blame
you all
Chris.
have a
It's all
modifier
Chris's fault.
of 6?
It's the new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. I'm sorry.
Oops.
I think our totals all come to 6, but we all have like different like ways of coming to that. Because I have like 4 decks and 2 wits, and I think Holly's like 3 and 3, and Marco's the opposite of me. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well,
No, I'm 3 and 3.
going to put Callum first because Callum was literally first to rush up the hill.
Okay.
So we'll do Callum, Greta, Yanish.
Okay. So, are you aware of how the surprise things work?
I kind of remember it from our last game. I believe it adds 2 to your... Is it 2 to your dice pool?
Okay, so it's a opposed roll, and successes over theirs will give me bonus dice on my first action. So what I do is I roll like a stealth check using the appropriate, like maybe dex stealth, right? Then they get to their perception check, perception alertness. And if I have more successes than them, my extra successes over theirs, because they cancel each other out, right? So any extra successes I get over theirs are bonus dice to my first action. If they get more than me, then they are not surprised at all, and they get their normal initiative.
Okay.
So if they have a higher initiative, then they get to react to my action of like coming in and like ripping somebody's guts out.
Okay, and so go ahead and roll a dex stealth for me, and you said it was opposed by perception alertness?
Yeah. So can I reflexively use blood to increase my dexterity?
Yes, up to your turn limit.
Alright, I'm going to spend 3 points. I have 4 successes.
They have 5. They notice your approach.
Okay. So that means that they have their normal initiative, whatever that is, and if they can react and all that stuff to my attack. I'm not catching them off guard.
What's that? Pull them up.
Do you know there are example characters in the B20 Dark Ages book?
Do they have a legionnaire?
I don't know if they have a Legionnaire. It's something I just thought of because just the situation.
Real talk though, how are you still awake over there, man?
Okay, I'm just doing one initiative roll for them as a group, given that they're all tied together the way they are, and also because it's the introduction, but I may not do that going forward. If it's a more significant encounter, they may get their separate initiative. So,
It's fair.
Like, you're really sharp on this, Adrian. I did not expect you to be this awake this late in the day for you.
I hit my second wind, like, right before we started.
All right, man. Way to go.
I'm also drinking. So they have a soldier in here. Like, it's just a normal soldier. Honest soldier.
I'll check them out next time. I stated these guys up for the first session, so we're going to go with the same stats.
Okay. Alright, so,
There are 5 of them. 2 of them continue advancing on the man that's against the tree, and 3 of them turn towards you.
Okay, I'm going for the nearest one to me.
Okay, and I apologize, I didn't have time to get set up with any of the mapping tools, but again, we're still in the intro, so I'll get to work on those next time. The one nearest to you, they are in formation, so they are again walking lockstep towards you. There's one in the middle, there's one on each flank.
Okay, so, for the purposes of declaring actions and all that, am I declaring before them? Like, if they beat my initiative, then they declare after me, and they can, you know...
They did beat your initiative.
Okay, so I have to declare what I'm doing first. So I don't know how they're acting. I just know that what the current formation. They turn, they see me, they're aware of me. I didn't catch them off guard. So because of that, I don't know exactly how they're going to respond, so I can't say, like, I'm dodging their attacks or whatever. So instead, I'm going to go all out, and the closest one to me, I'm going to run up, and I'm going to rip his fucking guts out. That is my declared action.
Okay, I mean... Okay, next would be Britta then.
My plan is, I reckon I'm hungry, right? There's nothing, like, weird about army, like, I'm hungry.
You're not in frenzy range or anything like that, but certainly you could eat. And yes, you are feeling a hunger to which you are unaccustomed.
Okay, but I mean, I'm asking, do I have that, like, instinctual drive after I've seen him eating folk that I'm like, oh, I don't know, let's give that a try? Because I'm trying to figure out.
It is instinctive.
Then my plan's going to be to jump one adjacent to him so that I can protect him from being stabbed in the side by these guys, because I know they can move together.
Okay, are you going to move left or right?
Which hand did he appear to favor in combat?
He who?
How? Did he
Did
swing
you
with
see him
his
in combat?
right or his left?
Oh no, he did take a swing at Mithras. You are left or right-handed?
I never thought of that, so I'm just going to go with the default right hand because it's more common.
So I go to cover his left side because that would be the weaker side.
Okay. In response to this, the one to your right begins to kind of circle around you, Callum. And the one to which you are charging takes up the defensive posture.
Okay, so do we roll this out now?
Yes, go ahead and roll it out.
Right, so I use Dex Brawl. So I have 4 successes.
Hang on. He's taking up a total defensive posture. I forget what that is.
Oh, it allows him, if he's doing a full defense, it allows him a dexterity athletics roll for every attack made against him. And cumulative -1 dice per attack. So the first attack is, full dice pool, and each success cancels one of my successes. But he can't take any kind of attacks of any other kind during his action. He can just only dodge, like, every attack aimed at him.
And a reminder, difficulty to hit them is 7
Oh, it's 7?
because of their shield.
Okay, so that changes my successes to 3 as opposed to 4.
Okay, and he is able to dodge a little bit out of the way, so that takes you down to 2. So go ahead and roll damage on 2. One of them, the one that's circled around to your right, tries to stab at you and fails miserably.
Two aggravated damage.
Okay, you tear a huge gash in his arm. He doesn't seem to respond. Oh, I'm sorry. Gaius is involved in combat too, but we didn't take his initiative down. Gaius, go ahead and roll a dex whip. Roll a d10 and add your dex and whip.
Okay.
Since I spent blood, my initiative is going to increase by 3 next turn, or next round, I should say. So it's going to jump up from 13 to 16. Since I've buffed my dexterity. Doesn't happen because I didn't do it until this round, but yeah, I'll get it next.
Alright, Gaius will start again next round now that I've got his initiative. Britta, you were going to try and make an attack against this legionnaire, is that correct?
Yes, I wanted to use my strength to... I'm not sure if I'd be more likely to bite him or try to fling him to the ground. I guess fling him to the ground and then prey upon him there. So I guess I'll do strength roll.
So you're trying to trip him?
No, like grab his arm with mine and fling his body to the ground.
So wrestle him to the ground?
I was hoping to do more like a... I guess it is like a trip. Sure. We can call it a trip.
Alright, let me pull it up.
I was picturing just like kind of pulling on his arm, overbalancing him, and having him fall over me, but I guess that is a trip, so.
Okay, that's a sweep, and it's going to do knockdown in addition to your damage. It's a Dex plus Brawl or Melee with a +1 DC, so the difficulty to hit him is going to be 8 with the shield.
Remember, you can spend blood if you want to buff that dex.
Dude, you're so smart. Yes, I'm gonna do that. I want my dex to be 5, please. Hold on, let me get a pencil.
Because if you can get him on the ground and just like latch onto his throat and just drain his blood, like, it won't make a difference.
Yeah, no, man, that was a solid call. Thanks for the help. And thanks to that, I got one success. So that's, a thing.
Well, he wasn't taking any kind of defensive action, so you were able to hit him still, even though he manages to stab you simultaneously.
Does she get like anything for knocking him on the ground? Is he just prone? Does he take any kind of damage?
Oh, she gets damage in addition to knocking him prone.
Oh, cool.
So it deals normal damage.
It's like strength.
It's strength damage, so your normal damage is going to be, you hit him one time, so it'll be just your...
Do I add potent or roll potent for damage?
It's up to you. You can add it to your pool, or you can declare you're spending a blood and then just take it as a success.
I'll roll it.
Ooh!
Hells yeah.
That's all successes. You were complaining about ones.
I guess it was saving up. I shouldn't have doubted him.
He hit his head on a rock, didn't he?
Right? As long as he didn't lose too much blood, it's fine.
Step 1.
Hey Matt, how are you gonna do spending XP for stuff? Are we gonna like wait for certain times in the story? How are we handling
End of each session.
Okay.
Seems easy enough. Okay, so, wow, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, you throw him to the ground and he smashes his head on a nearby rock. He is crippled. And pretty much out of the fight. Okay, and it looks like you soaked that stab wound. So, a sword sinks into your flesh, but you don't even feel it. Instead, you just want to plunge your fangs into the neck of this man whose blood is now issuing out of the back of his head. Your fangs extend reflexively, and around you, these countrymen traitors, their eyes grow wide in horror as they begin to notice what's happening to the Legionnaires and also what's happened to you in your face.
Oh, that's kind of mean, man. Like, my teeth are a little longer, but I'm not... Come on, man.
She's not me. I'm sitting there with like fucking 3-inch long fucking claws coming out of my hands.
Right, but this is what I'm fucking talking about different gender, expectations. It's completely unfair. Women are held to a completely different standard when it comes to being monsters. It's absurd.
You're right. History was very unfair to women.
Thank you.
And it's gonna continue that way for the next 2,000 years for you.
Wait, but that is gonna stop? That's good news.
Who knows? We don't know. 2,000 years? That's still in the future for us right now, so...
In one of the tongues of the southern region, one of the ones that you know, I forget the whole list of ones that you know. Here, let me see it. In Brythonic, they yell, "Monster!" They point at you, and most of them flee. One of them remains behind.
Because I swept this dude onto the ground and my fangs got a little long?
When you swept him onto the ground, it made a thump. They turn around. They see one guy with claws out of his hands and feet, and another one with fangs coming out.
Oh. Alright, well, I mean, yeah, when you tell the story that way, it sounds a little worse. Okay.
And what is Gaius doing during all this? Because he was up against a tree nearby, right?
Yeah, with two guys going up.
Good number of marching on Gaius, yeah.
Right now, he'd probably be trying to, if those two dudes are still in front of him, he would probably be trying to defend himself against those, since he's cornered against a tree.
Their initiative is higher, so you'll have to declare first.
I guess he'll,
Need a little help, rules-wise?
yeah. Like, I guess because, like I said, he's going to probably be all defensive right now. Because he's cornered, so I guess he would just kind of stand there holding his sword up, defending himself.
So you can take like a total defensive action, and that just lets you roll your dexterity and athletics dice pool against any attack made against you in this whole round. Anyone who attacks you, you get that. And every attack after the first, you take off 1 dice until you have no more dice in that pool to roll. So if there's 5 dice in your dice pool for that, and there's 5 people attacking you, one of them is eventually going to be able to attack without you defending. But you get a chance to defend against each one.
Okay, yeah, that's what he would do in this situation.
Okay, so you're taking a total defensive action?
Yeah.
Okay, then they'll advance and just try to stab at you.
Okay, so it's dexterity and
Athletics. And you don't have any... Oh yeah, you don't have discipline stuff.
You're not a vampire yet? That's a pretty good roll.
One of them tries to strike at you. You nimbly dodge out of the way, and he breaks his gladius on the great oak tree behind you.
That's one hell of a tree. Damn, that's 3 swords that have broken in 2 sessions.
Now go with the natural weapon.
I mean, to be fair, the first 2 were against, like, Mithras's, like, body armor.
Alright, so the second attack, you were so excited at seeing the gladius break on the first attack that you were elated for just a moment until the second stab came at you from just a slightly off-kilter direction.
Don't worry, we all died too.
well, I'm expecting to die.
Is that a soak? Is that a soak you rolled there? What was the 3d10?
Doesn't the dice keep going? Oh, that was 2. Yeah, my bad. I just ignore that.
That would be if you're rolling a third, like dodge.
Right.
You get this soak roll for free.
Well, he would. Okay, you get a soak roll for your armor, but you do not get it for your stamina because you are still mortal. And this is lethal damage. Mortals cannot soak lethal.
You guys have the, it's a chain armor. So, like 3. Like medium grade armor, I think it is.
It's pretty much what I had the rest of the Legionnaires wearing. So the way it was it penalizes your dex by 1 and provides an armor of 3. I think it's class 3 armor. So let's go ahead and go with that. Roll 3d10 for a soak. And unfortunately, you're soaking 5.
Damn.
Okay. It manages to catch in the rings of your, well, I guess they didn't have mail. It manages to catch along the place of your lamellar, and unfortunately, a little bit of it still slips through, catching you in the side. You take 2 points of lethal damage.
Okay.
So you have a penalty now, right?
Yeah, do you mind the wound penalty?
Do I mind the wound penalty?
No, I mean, just pay attention to it.
Okay. So it's 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Yanish, you're just scaling the mountain, right?
Correct.
Turn 1.
That was an eventful turn 1. Now we declare again?
Yeah, 1 second. Recording damages.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and okay, Callum, you're first, so you'll be declaring last. We are going to declare Britta, Gaius, the Legionnaires, and then Callum.
Slurp.
Okay, you descend on the wounded Legionnaire and begin to drink his blood.
I wheel upon him, lunge towards his body, get his throat in my mouth, and begin to drink hungrily.
Okay, that blow to the head did quite a bit to him. He's powerless to resist and crippled, so you're able to easily latch onto him, drain 3 points of blood as he dies in your arms.
Oh wait, like I don't have to wait or anything?
Well, you said you're taking blood from him, right? So you're not intending to deal aggravated damage, you're intending to essentially kiss him?
No, I just thought there was a chance someone else would try to like stab me or get in the way. I was just pleasantly surprised.
They're probably preoccupied.
Okay, Gaius?
Does he see all that? Like them eating people, basically? While this is going on?
You can roll it if you would like. I guess roll a perception alertness. It's going to be a difficulty of 8 due to the fact that it's nighttime, it's a moonless night, and you are kind of engaged in mortal combat here.
Well, that was why I was asking, because he was in combat. See if like...
With that in mind, can I make a slight alteration to how things played out just slightly? Just itty-bitty?
Yeah, what alteration?
That his eyes, Callum's eyes, are glowing red as well. Because if it's a moonless night, it's nighttime, he is, like, fighting in the
The
dark.
red eyes, yeah.
Eyes of the Beast. It doesn't cost anything. It's just...
Yes, no, it can be on. You would have been aware that it was a moonless night.
It's reflexive, too. It's not, like, it's instinctive. He's just like, I can see, and his eyes are glowing red. So you've got this, like, glowing red-eyed monster with, like, these talons for hands.
Okay, with the glowing eyes, go ahead and make it a DC of 7.
Ouch. But you got a success.
You don't notice the woman draining the blood of one of the fallen legionnaires, but you do notice a man's eyes glowing a particularly malevolent shade of red. It's kind of odd, but you've dealt with odd things and hallucinations a lot of your life. You're a little preoccupied to deal with it right now, but yeah, you do notice that.
Okay, yeah, so, and this... If he's still dealing with the guy, he'd probably try to kick him away. If he's got an opportunity to do that.
Okay, you have 2 of them on you. You're trying to kick one of them away?
Yeah, kind of give himself an opening to, like, run.
Okay, I'm assuming you're wanting to kick the one that still has a gladius?
Yeah.
Okay, because one of them has the broken weapon. Let me pull up a kick here.
It's +1 difficulty, and it adds +1 to the damage.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do a kick. I think he wants to do one of the other maneuvers. Because a
Like a
kick just
shove?
adds damage. Yeah, he's wanting to create some space. Like maybe a tackle.
I don't think it's a tackle, because that's more like you're trying to take them down.
Sweep. Attempts to trip her opponent.
Yeah, you can go for a sweep.
Yeah, we'll do that. It's dexterity plus brawl for melee.
Yeah, Dex Brawl, Brawl or Melee, whichever one you want to use. If you're using your Gladius, a Gladius of your own, it's going to be a Melee. So Dex
There really
Melee,
should be
and
a
it's
shove
going to
maneuver.
be, yeah, and it's a difficulty of 8 to hit him with his shield.
He doesn't have a shield. He's got just a dagger and a sword.
No. The Legionnaires have shields.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I got you. So yeah, we.
Okay. He is going to try and take a defensive action against us.
Wait, do I add the wound penalty to that? That'd be a minor.
Yeah, it takes off one of your dice.
Okay, yeah, I gotta re-roll that then.
It doesn't look like it's gonna make much of a difference. Oh my god.
No, triple fight.
Okay. In a particularly pathetic display, you try to sweep him off his feet, stepping towards him and trying to trip him. He tries to sidestep you and get around to your flank, but in doing so, trips on a root and falls over.
Do they both fall on the ground?
He didn't botch. Oh no, he did botch. I'm sorry, the DC's 8. Yeah, you're both prone.
Yum.
Well, I'm failing at my job today.
Your job's surviving, and you're surviving so far.
That's true. That's true.
So far.
The one who had the broken gladius reaches down and picks up the gladius dropped by his friend just now, without a second thought.
Oh, like eerily, like he's just like reflexively, like picking it up.
Yeah.
Fucking weird hive mind things.
Yeah, I would probably just try to get back up and keep going.
Okay, you can do that next turn, but right now your turn's done, and so are they. Callum, you're the only one left with any initiative. The 2 Legionnaires that are still up facing you two, both wheel and begin moving towards you, ignoring their fallen comrade with the vampire on top of them.
Okay.
They are both going to stab you.
And they go before my action, right?
No. Your initiative is 16 now. You have the initiative. They're declaring on you.
Oh, they're attacking me. Okay, so I'm taking a multi-action then.
Okay, what's your action?
I'm going to dodge their attacks, and the guy who attacked me, hold on. I'm going to dodge their attacks, and the guy who I attacked initially, I'm going to try and cut him down. Maybe rip out his throat.
Okay. So you're going to dodge both of their attacks and try to rip out their throat?
That's my multi-action. I'm going to try and dodge their attacks. And then claw. So I'm going to spend a couple of blood points here as well on strength and stamina. So 2 in each. Because I'm hungry. I'm going to feed. But at the same time, I am just like getting worked up by these people. And it's just like I'm just reflexively just like making myself more and more powerful. Trying to, get an upper hand here.
Okay. Go ahead and dodge those 2 attacks and then make your attack. successes on you?
So, the first one, I have -1 on the dice pool, +1 on the difficulty. So it's difficulty 7. Two successes.
Okay, you are able to dodge the first swing.
So the second one, it's -2 +2. So -2 dice plus the difficulty's 8. Zero successes on that one.
Alright, the second one's able to stab deeply into you. Let's see if you notice.
Should I roll my stamina? Plus 42?
Yes, unless you want to auto-soak it.
Shouldn't Freya be getting after this turn too?
This is a multi-action. It's all taking place in this one turn. So, hers is on the next turn. Along with,
I was
Yanish.
just checking because I didn't want them to be forgotten. Sometimes we do that.
No, I declared a multi-action of, like, dodging and then attacking. So, I get a couple of things, but I'm taking huge penalties and dice pool reductions. Okay, so I rolled 3 to soak.
Oh, then you soak it. Alright, so it plunges deeply in through your spleen and in towards your spine. You don't care. You don't even feel it.
Doesn't hurt at all. And now I roll my attack.
Yes, sir.
Right, so this is kind of hard. It's a difficulty 9.
Well, hello.
3 successes on my claw.
Roll it. Three plus strength plus 1. Or, I'm sorry, 2 plus strength plus 1.
Six successes.
Okay, and you said this one was the previously injured one, right?
Yeah, the guy that I had clawed before for 2.
Okay, you disembowel him, reaching your claw deep into his intestines and start pulling out, well, tasty morsels.
So Callum lets out like this roar of just like pleasure and desire. He's just like the smell of blood is just exciting him. So he's just he's probably gonna latch onto that that corpse immediately.
At that, the remaining Celtic trader immediately turns and begins running down the hill.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you won't have to deal with the archers.
So what happens next?
That's the end of the round. That one's dead. So, beginning the round again, Yanish and Freya make it to the top of the hill. The tattooed woman is going to move towards the tree, and 1 second. Save her piece. Get on the player. againest, I'll need to break through their lines. You see that knot in the trunk? I'll need time to manipulate it. You'll need to either scatter them or hold them at bay, although it looks as though that's already been done. I'll need a few moments and we shall abscond.
I'm
Play your turn.
presuming I can understand what you just said.
Yeah, again, they've all got, the tattooed woman has that same effect where it looks like a bad kung fu movie.
Mm-hmm.
The words coming out are not matching her mouth movements, but you understand them in your native Latin.
Okay. Well, in that case, I've got my gladius. I don't really think the dude actually took the axe from me, so I suppose I have 2 weapons at one time, but I don't have the dual weapon merit thing. In that case, I'll just kind of like move about 10 feet away from the lady and just kind of like hold position towards anything that's going to come our way or try to interrupt her little whatever she's going to do.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so the 2 of you, I guess, will advance in tandem towards the tree trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then Britta, your action.
Is there still blood in this blood bag?
There are 3 more points. Hang on. Yeah, 3 more points.
How is Callum doing?
Callum, he's doing great. He just let out a primal roar, and I suspect he's about to get down on some chow too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then I'm gonna finish my nice hot cup of soup here.
Was there a pun in that?
Tomato soup.
Oh, never mind.
All right, go ahead and take your 3 points of blood. Gaius, you have knocked over one of the legionnaires, and the other one has taken his friend's gladius and is leering down at you, preparing to stab you.
Am I still? Did I drop anything? Like my weapon or anything? I still have it?
No, you retained hold of your weapon.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and take a defensive action, then try to prevent myself from getting stabbed.
Okay. He is going to try to stab you. The other one is going to rise to his feet. And he will grab the discarded gladius as he's standing up, the broken one. And then Callum, I think there's only one left that's still up with your group there. He is going to move towards you to stab at you.
You could try. I mean, I'm not dodging it or anything, but like,
Okay? Then it's your
I'm
last to declare.
last to declare.
Yes, you're aware of everyone else's actions.
I am okay. So with that in mind, this guy is still coming at me. I'm gonna make a corpse out of him. I'm gonna dodge his attack and try and grab him. I'm not gonna claw him. I'm gonna try to grab, so I can grab and just latch on. Hopefully.
Okie doke. So first off is the one on Gaia.
Nope.
Oh!
Ouch.
Hey dude, I don't think your heart's gonna be beaten by the end of this session. That's a hot take.
But it's almost like we're playing vampire and everybody's dead.
Step 3.
That's lethal, right?
lethal. He can soak it with his armor.
That's 3d10, right?
Hey, you could soak it all. Possibly. Nope. Oh.
Why did you?
Another 3 points of lethal.
Wow. Hey, well, you're not dead. Yet.
I do just want to throw out there, no one's using their willpower, but you can use willpower to force successes on these defensive maneuvers, guys.
I know, I just didn't feel like it was,
You're in no danger,
Objective
but
two.
yeah. Alright, is Gaius dead, or what's he at?
Where's my health again? I think it says, on the sheet it just shows the bruised, hurt, injured, wounded, mauled, crippled.
Those are the ones, and what you'll do is you'll go down each one putting, you put an X through each one that you've taken a damage on.
Yeah, X is for lethal. So, you had how much before?
Okay, so, I had 2 before.
So you're
I
at
should
5.
be at 5.
So just mark off 5 points starting at the top.
Okay.
And that puts
Alright.
you at what? Crippled?
Yep.
No, you're
Alright.
at mauled. I'm sorry. Yeah, crippled is the next stage. So you're at mauled.
Okay.
This one plunges deep into you, and you feel it glancing off your spinal cord and your back. You're in incredible pain.
Yeah, he'd probably kind of like yell at him, or like let out like a wild yell.
Oh, I'd imagine there'd be some yelling, yeah. Alright, and then one attacking Callum. Go ahead and roll your defense. Okay, you dodge him easily. It's exposed.
Man. That's a good roll.
Blood buff's real, y'all. Okay,
Look,
Callum.
I had a chance to feed, so that's why I felt comfortable just spending blood, like reflexively, like his instinct kicking in.
So go ahead and... Where is hold? Clinch. Here we go, clinch. Clinch is just strength plus brawl.
Right, so I have -2 dice because it's a second action in a multi-action. Two successes.
Alright, you establish a hold. And then you can bite on the next turn to feed.
Okay.
First turn, you roll strength damage.
Two. And that's because of the blood buff, because normally I only have 3 strength.
Yeah, this is bashing, so he manages to soak it. Alright, but he is in your hold, and next turn you'll be able to fight him. That brings us to the end of the round. Yanish and the tattooed woman have reached the tree. She begins fiddling with a knot in the tree's trunk there. She starts reaching her hand into the tree and moving it about inside of it. Almost like she's, I don't know, reconfiguring the tree. What do you do?
I'm still holding my position to let her do what she's doing.
Okay. Total defense. Britta?
With the body drained, I would rise up as Callum's done with his murder. Is that right, or does he need help?
One of them is dead on the floor. His entrails have been splayed out. The other one he has in a clinch, and he's literally about to plunge his fangs in, I'm guessing.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go, the older woman, the witch, or whatever she wants to be called, and I'll go stand by her desk. Maybe at this point I'll even ask, is there a name I should be using when I'm referring to you?
Freya, she says.
Thanks for my life, Freya. Is there anything I should be ready for next?
Again, about your life. Wotan will explain.
You are so casual in the middle of a fight.
Fight's done. I'm just trying to figure out if she's about to animate this tree and I'm gonna have to stab it, or what the hell's about to happen here.
Poor Gaius, totally abandoned. Gaius, what do you do?
I thought you said you ran up towards the tree line. I was like, whatever, he done.
Well, he's like on the ground, but if he's got enough, is like the other guy still there attacking him? That's
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna. He's gonna do a thing.
I mean, if he's still alive and moving, he's gonna just keep trying to defend himself until he can get away.
Is this like right next to Freya?
I mean, it's on the other side of the tree, but yeah, it's within. You all are aware of this, yes. Does that change your calculus a bit?
Yeah, a lot. I thought that he had ran off into the tree line with the other traitors. Well, in that case, I'd go over and murder me some more Legos. You know how I feel about that. I love killing Romans.
Murder, murder,
that guy.
murder. Murder,
You're
murder.
armed with a weapon, right? Aren't you?
Well, I have a broken blade, but
I meant Gaius.
Oh yeah.
So, one of the things you can do is a parry, and if you are able to successfully parry, you can do a riposte and do a counterattack. It's a multi-action, so it has the -1 dice, +1 difficulty to it. But you can declare, I'm going to parry this attack coming in at me, and then counterattack that person who's attacking me. It's an option. I'm just throwing it out there because you have people advancing on you, you're wounded, you're up against a tree, you're like, oh shit, you're in a situation where, maybe he does that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would probably be a good idea. I'm going to do that. And I can use a willpower to force the success.
Yes, you can use a willpower to force one success. You spend it, and you consider to have one success on a particular roll, subject to, obviously, if I tell you you can't use willpower on a roll. But for most rolls, you'll be able to use a willpower.
Okay. Because with the -1, that parry will give me 2 dice.
So wait, we're doing a parry. You're factoring in your dice penalties, right?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. He's already got -2 in his dexterity. What is parry?
So, a parry is a dexterity melee.
Okay, yeah, so that would be 5 -2 -1, 2.
Yeah, and you have 1 success, so that's, something.
What page is parry on?
It's on page 344.
Of course, several pages back. Okay.
I'm sorry, Chris, is your icon a face of iced tea with 3 little faces of ice cube on top of it?
Yeah.
I'm in awe. A+,
It's just
bro.
straight up, yeah.
Holly, I didn't know you recognized Ice-T.
He's on Law and Order SVU.
So, what makes parry good is that if you get more successes than the person who's attacking you, the additional successes apply to the counterattack. So, like, people who are really good at melee can just be like, oh, this attack's coming in, I'm gonna use, I'm gonna parry. They're not gonna dodge, they're gonna parry instead, so they can get those extra melee successes they might get on the counterattack. And for a person who is, like, in a corner and is good at fighting, I imagine parrying is better than dodging.
Additionally, this one that's standing over you, well, hang on, which one are you going to attempt to parry? There's one with a broken gladius and one with a full gladius that has just stabbed you.
Well, he would probably be the one who's going to attack next, because since the other one already stabbed me. Unless he pulled it back and went in for another one.
That is, I mean, he may do that. They go after you, but...
He would basically parry whoever came after him. So whoever came after him first would be the one he parried.
Okay, so the one with the broken blade I'm going to consider to be unarmed. Alright, looks like we tied. So, what happens on a tie with a parry then? Is it deflected?
So, yeah, it's basically blocked, but he doesn't get the counterattack.
Okay, so you're able to parry one of the attacks against you. The other one with the gladius is going to pull it free and again try to stab you with it.
You were very lucky that dice pool penalties from wounds don't apply to soak.
Right.
It's your armor anyways. The wound penalty should never apply to armor either way. And it looks like this guy is not going to damage you. He glances off of your skin.
It was close. You almost died.
Almost.
Okay, and then Britta said she was going over to grab one of these guys, so which one?
The one with the full sword, I'll take him and just chug him.
Are you
Gatorade
going to
style.
grab him?
Yes, with my strength and my
Roll the climb.
melee.
The strength brawl.
Sorry, I couldn't voice at the same time.
Okay.
I'm spending a blood point, though, for my potence.
Okay, you are? Great. Okay, you've got him in a hold.
When possible, I insert my straw and drink deeply.
Okay, that'll be next turn. Callum, your guy is in a clinch with you, so he's going to try to escape. What do you do?
I'm eating him. Or at least I'm trying to. Fangs are coming down on his throat. Blood is being absorbed.
Okay, he's trying to escape, so he's rolling a resisted check against your strength roll. He's got 4.
That's 8 successes.
Okay, you are easily able to keep a hold of him, and you bite down on him. He is now in the kiff, so he's helpless.
I'm gonna drink him till he's dead. Blood, just
Okay,
go.
there is one Legionnaire remaining with a broken gladius. I'm going to go ahead and truncate the combat at this point. Go ahead and you guys have about 2 turns to finish eating, so as much blood as you want to take in that time.
Can I just...
Am I able to drink 14 points of blood in that time?
No, 3 points around unless you've got Serpentis, bro.
So it's
How many rounds?
6
2 rounds?
max, right?
Correct.
So,
We maxing out then. I'm drinking this dude. Just...
Don't you have to eat portions of them to get any sustenance?
someone better
I
take rapid
have, to look at the flaw.
butcher.
I have to look at the flaw because I think it's like I have to eat part of them, but not like every feeding. Hold on.
Just 1 heart a night. That's pretty lenient. Just 1 human heart every night.
I ran an Aztec game like that.
Ah,
No, seriously, I ran a vampire Aztec game. I'm like, has no one ever thought of this?
That sounds really dope.
Everybody was like, that makes perfect sense. Aztec vampires.
That would be pretty dope.
There's like a whole bloodline of like followers of Set who have protean instead of Serpentis and transform into jaguars that are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Shit. Let's see. I think they're like non-canon though. I don't know.
if possible, I do want to spray the traitor with blood while I'm drinking.
Okay, it looks like Dark Ages does not have conspicuous consumption. They have Flesh Eater. With Flesh Eater, it's a willpower roll to keep down the blood without a murderous amount of flesh. Or
Okay.
vomit it up.
So, for the purposes of fluff and my character's like actions here, and drinking his blood, can we just say he's like ripping into his flesh and like consuming part of him? Because I imagine, like whenever I come up with this concept, he's like consuming the heart and the liver as like the primary source because they're very blood rich. But like because of the way the flaw is worded for Dark Ages, he might be like just like ripping into them and just pulling out like chunks of meat and just like consuming it and going for that part, the heart and the liver. But you know, consuming pieces that are in the way along the way.
Sure, that works too.
Okay, so that is what Callum is doing then.
Alright, you tear out literally the entirety of his throat then, leaving just behind his spinal cord and his head, obviously.
How much blood can I restore? The 6
Also,
points like normal?
Yeah, let's go with the 6. Okay, 6 with a willpower roll. Otherwise, if you're needing to like physically eat this, it's going to be 3.
What's the difficulty in the willpower roll?
It's a DC 8. Or you could just spend the point.
Just
Okay,
figure
done.
roll it. Alright.
Can I spray the auxiliary guy with blood from the Romans?
So Callum is like licking his hands that are just like this covered in gore, these claws, and you know, he's just like enjoying this process of just consuming flesh and blood.
Then in that case, I definitely want to spray this Legionnaire with blood from his comrade who was about to kill him. Just while I'm drinking. Just classic Bam style. Just, blood on his face.
Sure. Okay, and as for his magic complete, the tree itself opens its belly up to you, the bark splitting and leaves rustling until there is a man-sized hole in the center of the tree. You cannot see through it to the other side. Into the hole now, she shouts.
Is she like bodily grabbing Caius?
Yes, she grabs Gaius and throws him as he kind of stumbles, his legs not really obeying him with his wound, into the bowels of the oak. She then calls behind, her voice echoing from deep within the hole, "Follow me."
Callum will begrudgingly follow at this point because, unlike before, he's not, subdued by this vampiric power. So he was like for a moment just completely consumed by his desire for flesh and just ripped into this person. But now that he's sated, he's just kind of like, oh, all right, and just kind of like dripping with gore, just follows behind.
I am rushing right into the tree as soon as I'm commanded.
Alright, Yanish, far below, you see legionnaires marching like ants from all directions towards the hilltop.
Why did you say that to me? Dang it.
You're the last one behind.
Ugh!
Run!
Is everyone,
Run while you can!
is everyone else in the hole?
Everyone else has been taken in through the hole.
Okay, I kind of like slowly backstep, just being like glaring at the legion as I backpedal into the hole.
Alright, the world itself melts away as you enter into the tree, and you feel your organs squelch and congeal as you liquefy and begin to travel along a long slide, following the roots of the tree deep into the bowels of the earth. When next you regain consciousness, you are in a large, windowless mead hall. Long bench tables lay in front of you, and underneath those, dirt floors. There's a small portion of wooden flooring that has been laid down, atop which sits two large chairs, one of which is occupied by the mountain of man known as Wotan. You hear a harsh whistling of mountain winds outside. In the ceiling above, a large rib protrudes from the ceiling, slick with blood and other bodily fluids. As you awaken, the many-pelted Wotan rises from his seat and looks to you, Ganesh. Sit and stay quiet. I have plans for you. Let me give you a picture real quick here.
Is it the same one as before? Because you sent one before.
No. Picture of the hall.
Oh, my bad.
I've posted it in the roleplay channel.
What's that from?
Carvings and everything.
I'm sorry, again?
I was just asking if it had the carvings and all that stuff.
It does have the carvings into the... Although the area, the wooden area near the table is dirt. There is the upraised portion still. To Gaius, he turns and he barks, "Come here." You feel compelled to obey him. Indeed, you move reflexively towards him, your body well accustomed to obeying such commands, though you've no idea why. You bare your neck to him, and he plunges down with his fangs, shaking his maw, and your entire body like a wolf tearing into a deer. As your life ebbs away slowly, he falls back away from you until you collapse again on the ground in a heap. Bouton stares vacantly at the far wall down the hall, though his mind is many miles away from this place. This one hears whispers, though none so loud as pathetic pretender thought. His voice silenced the others. Now they will return. These voices, they were prescient in the past, he believes. A seer, perhaps? I see no other use for him. Then my gift is unworthy, the scarred woman says back to him, standing beneath the large roof. At this, Wotan grimaces. No, beloved, your intentions are what matter. I'll not waste a gift earnestly given. Perhaps the ocean's waters will whisper unto this one as well. He melts away into the earth, deep into the floor, returning some moments later with a blood-soaked sea sponge. He wrings out the sponge into the end of a large bull's horn, and it drops, slowly filling up with blood. He draws up Gaius's wrist from the heap on the floor and plunges his fangs into you again, this time draining away the last of your precious life's blood. At the moment of your spirit's departure, he fills your mouth with the briny contents of the horn's mouth. Again feeling invigorated as your eyes swing wide open, you drink greedily, emptying the entirety of the contents, a mixture of blood and steep salt water. You'll start with 15 blood.
Okay.
While Yanish is powerless to act, the other two vampires are obviously free to react to this however they want.
I don't think Callum would be reacting to the situation. He would be more like, it's not that he doesn't care what's happening, he's more focused on the blood that's like still fresh on his claws, and he's just like licking his hands, you know, just like cleaning the gore off of himself, like with this like just thirst and hunger that's overcome him, and he's just like just nastily just licking his,
Like a cat.
yeah, just cleaning himself and just like, yeah, like a cat, just grooming. But it's really gross because, you know, vampiric and blood and guts and shit.
I ask, how can a Roman be a seer? They're so rigid. How can they give in to the nature?
Romans run the gamut, young lady.
From murderers to rapists and back to the other side, huh?
Have you ever seen one such as Frigg over here? He points to the tattooed woman.
No, but there are plenty of wonders in the forest I have yet to gaze upon.
Our people are too part of the Roman Empire at this very moment.
My condolences.
And yet you've seen her talents.
I presume they were not gifts from Rome.
And yet, being a Roman does not make one bereft of gifts.
Oh no, I could tell how well she fit in with those lovely Romans upstairs. Tell me, they were just charging for to remind you of your great citizenship, right, Freya?
I'm unclear what you're asking.
I'm saying, oh, yeah, she's Roman, great, but you know that's not what I mean. Those Romans upstairs were about to kill her just like they were going to kill me.
It is done, girl, Wotan says to you. There's nothing left to be argued over.
My argument is there are still Roman footprints upon my soil. When can I take more of them down? When can I drain them dry and clean my land?
When I am done, remain here, he says. You can feel him trying to compel you.
I still have 6 willpower. Do I need to spend one to resist any duress compulsion?
His is not of the level to where you need to spend a willpower on. Let me look up that.
While you're looking that up, I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, when I was feeding, I got 3 points per turn, right? And there was 2 turns? Okay, so with efficient digestion, I got extra points. Every 2, I get a bonus 1.
Okay, so... Okay, great.
Okay, just want to establish that.
Oh, this is in D20, damn it.
What is?
The merit she took, it's in D20. I'm gonna have her grab it and look it up. It doesn't really matter because he's not gonna stay focus on this. What he's going to do is go over to Yanish. Wotan, after rebuking Britta, wastes no time in allowing the newly sired Gaius to rise to his feet. And then in an instant, he looms over your body, Yanish, grabbing you by the scruff and dragging you across the dirt floor and outside the hall. Still trapped in your mortal flesh, you feel the glacial chill of the region and you realize, frighteningly, you are even farther from home than Britannia. You are high in the mountains of a snowy land. Here, surrounded by predators, even the wind bite at you. In front of you lies a pit, roughly hewn by clawed hands, if the scoring marks around it are to be believed. He tosses you casually into the pit, and says unto you in Hebrew, "Strip off your armor. You may keep only your blade and your spirit."
Speak.
Notice now, for the first time, the words he speaks mirror the movement of his lips.
He speaks my language.
As you follow his command unquestioningly, he whistles loudly into the winds. You hear howls in the distance, and then you see them, 2 wolves twice as large as any you have ever seen, answering Wotan's call. They come and lay at his feet, looming above you in the pit as your skin begins to freeze. Let me give you a picture for scale.
They dire wolves.
They're Gould.
Yep, those are dire wolves.
Alright, put a picture in roleplay just so you can get a sense of them.
BFD.
So they're me when I get Protean 4.
He begins to speak again. Long ago, when the gods themselves walked this earth, I had a trusted friend, true of purpose, fierce and unswervingly loyal to those same gods, as were we all. So much so that he took one of their names, Ramiel, he called himself. But I'll not ask you to swear an oath to those gods. I don't care if your heart is pure. I don't care about what you want or the reason why you struggled along all these years of your life. For Ramiel is dead, a fool for having expected those same gods to show him an ounce of loyalty in return. I am all that remains of him. Pray to whatever god you worship, he'll not answer you either. The only power that can save you lies at your feet. He gestures to the blade, and waits a moment, studying you in silence. Do you pray? To whom? What do you pray for?
Hold that thought. Let's see. Let's see. I am looking up something very specific.
Look, we don't need to know about your fetishes, okay?
Really? You sure? Because they're just really...
No.
Okay.
Leave the anal, like furry fetish out of it.
Oh, no. I draw the line of furries. Where is that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I take the cloth. I take the one piece of the remaining of the cloth. I take the gladius and I kneel down. I put the cloth over my head, and I say from the Old Testament, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. My high tower may deliver, my shield for whom I take refuge, who subs his people under me." And then I take my gladiator stance to get ready to fight the wolves, presuming they're going to attack me.
As you finish, Wotan laughs. Your eyes rising to meet his gaze, he calls to the wolf, "Scroll, Ati, devour him." We're not going to roll this out because of time and because obviously this is the end. Through your faith and determination, you're able to land many solid blows on the 2 monstrous wolves before their teeth tear your body to shreds. The scarred woman's rune bind failing as splashes of the wolf's blood flex onto the sigil. You Your wounds cease closing of their own accord, and you finally succumb to the pain and frost. You collapse, looking up to the stars in the black moonless night. You catch Wotan's third eye, bloodshot and jaundiced, casting about in confusion as it bleeds from Wotan's forehead. He collects the blood on the tip of a clawed fingernail as he grimaces in pain himself. He flicks the blood into the end of the large bull's horn, then jumps into the snow-covered pit himself with a muffled thud. You feel warmth pouring into your mouth, and the tearing of flesh on your forehead as you are born anew. And we'll be calling it there for the night.
Yay.
Holy shit. That was one hell of an ending there for this session.
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Alright, everyone has a blood bond of 1, but only one person has it to Wotan, and that's Andrew.
Yeah.
Everyone else, just put question mark.
Question marks.
Man.
Question mark goes under sire.
I'm gonna go ahead and cross off the...
For Sire, everyone is to put Odin, the All-Father. Until otherwise noted.
Well, that's crazy and cool at the same time. Because so far, seemingly, we're all sired by the same guy, but different clans. So that's... yeah.
You do not question the will of Odin.
Hey, look, he's got a magic horn with a magic blood thing. It's weird.
The magic
Dude,
horn is canon.
Yeah, it's a canon object, and he's got some, like, crazy thaumaturgy. Because clearly, Odin, god of magic with all these magic powers, has to have some kind of, like, proto-thaumaturgy. That was exciting. Chris, what did you think of it?
I'm excited. I don't really know what's gonna happen with my dude though. I don't know if he's gonna forget all this or not.
Well, I guess we'll find out, because...
I had considered your amnesia to be pertaining just to the section where you were conditioned and dominated. I didn't intend for it to apply basically after your siring, so I'm gonna go with you're gonna remember this.
Alright then. He's gonna remember all of it.
That'll be cool, because it's something that you can kind of, like, explore in the future, where he tries to unlock the missing memory.
Yeah. Especially being it's like the hallucinations that he's gonna have to deal with going forward.
Man, this is cool, man. I'm really enjoying this, man.
Good, I'm glad. We'll get a better hang of the combat as we go along. We're still real shaky on it.
That's cool, man. It's not the most important part. It's story, and I'm enjoying that.
Alright, everyone get 5 experience, and let's go ahead and restore any spent willpower. Oh, Inish, you can start with 15 blood as well.
Cool. 15.
You're a vampire now, finally. So you said between sessions we can spend XP.
Yeah.
Can I get a dot and protein?
It's a clan discipline for you, so yes, you can manifest any of your clan disciplines through just sheer experience without a trainer.
Okay, because
Although you've been watching Odin do this, so you can easily manifest Earth Meld.
Earth Meld is it's a very critical power, and I really want it like as soon as possible. So I'm doing that right now. That's what I'm getting.
Alright, anybody else want to spend experience?
It's 7 times current ranking for discipline, right? Was it 6?
In clan is 7.
I'd like to get potent too.
Wait, in clan is 5 times current,
Oh,
and out of
I got
clan is
that
7.
Well, in that case, I still want to get potent. And that's what I'll get for right now. Potent.
can't really justify anything out of clan. I'm just trying to get, Earth Meld. It's so good.
Well, in that case, let's see. So you said it's I've got 10 experience since for tonight and last night. I'm debating if I want to pump another point in Auspex and Valerian, or just put 1 point into Fortitude. So far, I've got 2 Fortitude.
I suggest getting the others.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put one point boof. Yeah, you know what I'm doing.
Because Auspex is really good at, because, the whole aura rating thing is really handy.
Although I haven't looked at Valorant, so I
It's
don't know what the next rank of that is for you.
it's broken.
That's good. I wouldn't say broken, but it's...
I think there's an ability where I can hit you and you cannot dodge it and you take ag damage, but I think that's like 5th dots.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
that's not the second dot. The second dot is
Miles then.
easier. Let's see. Second dot for warriors. Healers use sleep to accelerate the healing process. Warriors use sleep to incapacitate enraged foes.
Hey, Andrew, if I want to increase my abilities, I forget, is it 2 times or 3 times current rating?
Abilities is 2 times. Attributes are 4 times.
Tight. Thanks, bro.
You get to resist wound penalties with this second rank.
Ooh. It says K-Knights are unaffected by this power.
Right, but against, warriors, they get a separate type of ability, sort of, where it works the same thing, but they can dull their own wound penalties, and if they know both, they get additional 2 dice in the willpower roll, and it can be used in combat as part of a brawl attack. It's got a few additional uses.
Really, it depends on whether or not you've got the abilities to make aura perception useful. If you do, then the Auspex is good. If you don't, then you'll find aura perception to be pretty useful.
Aura perception is always useful.
Yeah, I mean, you still need empathy, but aura perception is really good.
I think I've got
Just remember, it's a difficulty 8.
Yeah, I've got 2 in empathy.
Well, thinking about it. And Chris, I hope you enjoyed the session.
I did, man. I'm kind of sad we have to stop.
Yeah, but it's late, and thankfully we're out of the introductions at this point, so we'll start the game proper next session.
Yeah, it's almost 11:30 here, and I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, so...
Yeah. No, I got it. No. I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
Well, it was nice meeting you. I'm glad everyone had a good time. We'll see you at the same time, not next week, but the week after that.
All right.
Thanks.
Murder more roads, y'all.
Burn it
I'm
down.
excited. And, Marco, let us know when you got the next one uploaded.
I
know that there's a few people online who are pretty excited about the fact that you're uploading.
I'm gonna try to get this up probably tomorrow or Monday after work. Apparently, the conversion is so long; it took about 6 hours for it to convert over to YouTube for some reason.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I'm not asking you to do anything drastic. I'm just saying.
It's just that, like, I watched that thing and I'm just like, I'm going to bed. And I woke up the next morning like, it's got 10 minutes left. Okay, I'm going to work.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just saying that there, on the TCBN Discord channel, people are like, oh, wow, yeah, that's cool, you know. So there's a couple of people who were interested, and I know that a couple of people in the group in itself were interested in listening to it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get that thing up. Hopefully by tomorrow or something. You guys have a good night.
See you, man.
Take care, y'all.
Good night,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.